Hi, everyone. Welcome to ElCo Chats. My name is Julieta, and this is a podcast where I get to chat with El Camino College students, alumni, staff, faculty, and managers at El Camino College. And today I get to chat with Sharonda Barksdale, our Basic Needs Coordinator. Welcome, Sharonda.
Thank you, Julieta. Thank you for having me today.
Okay, so I want to know a little bit more about what you do here at El Camino College. What are some of the things that you provide for our students and for the community? So, the topic for today is basic needs. So, what are basic needs?
Oh, where do I begin? Basic needs can mean a lot of things, but for me personally, I instantly go to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Just knowing that food, shelter, water are those basic things that every human needs in order to sustain themselves, to grow within that pyramid, to reach that self-actualization point for themselves. Um, I think everyone needs to have that first level met in order for them to even begin to move up that pyramid and begin to reach that, point where they feel like I am successful.
Thank you. And so, why was there a need for a basic needs center here at El Camino College, and why is it important?
So, for me personally, in my previous position as the foster youth and homeless liaison, started working with quite a few homeless students here at El Camino College and began to see that there were some trends, some things that all of our homeless students were requesting, things that they didn't have access to. And for me, it just became a natural progression to begin to just try and source those things they needed. And from there, it became, well, why not have a centrally located space on campus? If one or two students are going through this, then there's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 students who are going through this. But again, they don't know where to ask for help. They don't know how to get that assistance. So again, creating that basic needs center to have that centralized location for students to be able to come and get assistance with food insecurities, housing insecurities, transportation insecurities, a huge one, was just really important, I think, for our college and for the success of our students.
Thank you. And what are some of those basic needs services that you provide to the community and students?
So here at El Camino College, our basic needs center does include our food pantry. Our food pantry has been thriving pre-pandemic, was open throughout the pandemic, and we have seen an increase actually in the number of students who are utilizing the service now that we are post-pandemic and we see more students on campus. We have, we're doing a storefront location, second floor of the bookstore building in the Decathlon room right now, and we're also still doing our drive-through pantry. So again, our community can utilize, that pantry service that we have 3 days a week here on campus. Our housing referrals, we've seen a huge increase in the number of housing referrals working with our community partners here in the Service Planning Area 8 or South Bay area. We've seen a trend of the face of our student changing, no longer your 19-year-old, 18-year-old fresh from high school, but now we're seeing a lot of returning adults, a lot of single parents, families who are in need of that housing support. So trying to, provide that to them or connect them with those agencies within the area that can provide that support has been really great for us. This year we've taken on something new. We're doing transportation. So we are offering free transportation to all of our students through the UPass. That is something that the Basic Needs Center is picking up in terms of the cost for any student. The UPass is just a great service through Metro where, again, they're able to utilize 12 different bus lines. So not just Metro, but they can ride Santa Monica, they can ride Torrance, Gardena. I'm sure you were, a lot of our students are not just from the South Bay. We have students traveling from Koreatown. We have students traveling from Lancaster, Palmdale area, into our South Bay campus, once or twice a week. So again, being able to have that transportation to utilize those buses to get back and forth to school has been great for them.
I'm glad you mentioned the UPass and that there are several different lines of transportation that make their way to El Camino College. So thank you for mentioning that. There was one service that you didn't mention and I am aware of because I recently took a stroll over to the Basic Needs Center. So tell me a little bit about the Warrior Closet.
So we do have our Warrior Closet. That is a service, again, out of working with the homeless students through financial aid, something I created in 2018, and it's kind of grown into, morphed into something of its own. But the Warrior Closet is a place where students can come and get both, new, gently used clothing, both casual and professional, for both themselves, their family members. Again, for me personally, I feel that if a student doesn't have to think about mom or dad or anybody else in the family, they're able to then focus on their studies. Just to share, like we had a situation, a young lady came in and she wanted to get a shirt for her dad because he was going on a job interview, and we're like, sure, let me help you. Let's find it. And we found a couple of shirts and she took them home. Dad went on his interview. She came back a few weeks later and she shared with us that her dad had gotten the job. For that student, she now no longer has to worry about dad not having a job and can focus on, her education and focus on moving forward. And so again, to be that type of a resource to our students here at El Camino, that just, for me, it takes, it's a place in my heart. Like I just have to kind of hold on to, and, you know, you see these students be successful because of the little things that we're doing in the background.
Absolutely. And I think it's all those little things that really make a big difference. And I think one of the things that you mentioned is if you have a need for, let's say, food, for example, it's possible that there may be a need for clothing. And it's possible that you may have a need for transportation. And it's also possible that you have a need for housing. So I think how you all put those services under one area is very convenient for the students. And thank you also for mentioning that the utilization of like the closet, for example, is more than just for the student. So ensuring that the needs of the family are also met. So
Absolutely.
So with that, what are some of the eligibility requirements for individuals who are seeking some of the assistance from your basic needs center, and how do students access?
So the main eligibility requirement is to be an enrolled student. To be a student who's currently enrolled in our current semester, whether that's fall or spring or summer. Again, anything from 1 unit to 20 units, doesn't matter. But again, that is all you do. Currently, the Basic Needs Center, we are located on the second floor of the bookstore building. Our main area would be the Alondra room. However, again, we have staff in both the decathlon room where our Warrior Closet is located and in the stadium room where our Warrior Pantry is located, who again can, direct a student to the appropriate staff, again, based on whatever their need is or service that they're looking for.
And just to be clear, the drive-through service is still something that's available for students?
Yeah, so our DriveThru Pantry is absolutely available Tuesdays and Thursdays. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that is in the small parking lot in front of the bookstore building. I believe it's called C West or C South. I'm never sure about that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's the little lot C is what I remember calling it as well. So I think that's nice and convenient as well for students.
Yes, and not only students, but community. We see a lot of community who utilize the drive-through. Again, they are not as willing necessarily to get out of their cars, park and get out of their cars. But again, with our storefront in the stadium room, we are seeing an increased number of community members. Even just this morning, I saw 2 elderly people on canes going down to the stadium room to utilize our pantry. And again, our homeless students pantry is something that they really, really are dependent on right now. Although most of them, yes, have CalFresh benefits. And again, I'm sorry, that's another service I forgot to mention. We offer CalFresh outreach assistance. So we will help with applying for CalFresh benefits, being that liaison between the Department of Public Social Services or DPSS. But again, some of our students, again, they don't get their benefits maybe till the 10th of the month. Those first 10 days, the 1st or the 10th, they're struggling. By then they're usually out of food stamps. Again, they're coming to the pantry every day to get snacks, to get drinks, to get things, that they can maintain and keep in their car and, eat for those students that are living in their cars. We've even gone a step further this semester. We've put microwaves inside of our food pantry. So again, when we have those microwavable items, again, allowing students to be able to heat those things up and, have a warm meal, whether it's a burrito or whether it's, lasagna or an enchilada. But again, giving them the ability to, again, hopefully have that warm meal that can sustain them for the day. And then on Wednesdays, our storefront pantry and Warrior Closet, we are open from 12 to 6. So we even have students coming in like at 5. We think dinner time, again, a lot of our homeless students coming to pick something up and heat it up, before they go to their cars for the evening.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask you about partnerships and collaborations in a little bit, but something that you haven't mentioned yet, and I just want to make it clear that students do not need to be eligible for financial aid in order to receive services from the Basic Needs Center, correct?
No. The only thing a student needs to do, again, is be enrolled in at least one unit.
Got it. But we do want students to apply for financial aid.
Yes, we do. And again, that's part of what we do when we meet with students, whether it's for housing insecurities or whether it's, UPass, we tend to check financial aid files. We tend to make sure, hey, are you receiving the maximums? Do we need to tap into an emergency grant if it's available, depending on the situation? What other resources are there available through financial aid, again, that student can take advantage of? Some of our students, again, they're not maintaining satisfactory academic progress standards. They've lost their financial aid. So again, offering that assistance with completing an appeal, reviewing that process with them, reviewing the questions with them, and again, helping them to understand what that process looks like with providing the necessary documentation for that appeal. And again, being that advocate, for them as well through financial aid to see if, hey, let's try and get your financial aid back. Can you imagine if you get this $1,500 back, what that's going to do for your family or what that's going to do for you and how you can utilize that to set yourself up for success?
Absolutely. Thank you. It really does sound like you're that hub for all of those basic resources plus financial aid for students who do need these services. We all need them at some point or another. So to be that one place, I think is very important. So tell me more a little bit about the partnerships and collaborations that have been established to support the work that you do in the Basic Needs Center.
So definitely we collaborate with our on-campus partners first and foremost. I think that's one of the biggest things that we can do is to show our students how our different departments can work together for their benefit. Different programs can work together to support them. So we definitely, one of the things, the pantry working it through are talking about food insecurities. We're now partnering with a lot of the different programs and we're having cupboards throughout campus. So we have cupboards with some of the different athletic departments or athletic programs, Social Justice Center, Black Student Success Center. We're going to be moving one here into the library soon, again, giving students those additional places on campus, again, to access those resources in terms of food. Warrior Closet, we're working with different departments like Warrior Jobs and counseling, again, to be able to provide those professional attire for our students as they prepare for job interviews. We're getting close to graduation, and everybody's going to be looking for a job. And so, again, we're creating those dates where we're just going to be doing professional wear and extending our hours so that students can come in and, hopefully find something that they need for those interviews coming up. We've already had established partnerships with some of our outside agencies, such as Harbor Interfaith. We work closely with them in terms of our housing. They are the lead housing provider here in the South Bay area when we talk about homelessness within LA County. So we have a great partnership with them where we're able to refer our students. They even come on campus to meet with the students. We provide them with that space to be able to do that. So that has been great in really creating and maintaining that. And we do hope to grow that because we are seeing, again, our homeless referral numbers increasing every year. So we want to have more partners on campus to actually meet with our students right here on the spot. We don't have to wait a week for a referral to go to an agency, that agency to then try and reach out with the student. They're playing phone tag for another week. Now it's 3 weeks before they're in contact. If we can have that agency here on campus within the Basic Needs Center at least once a week or once every other week, then again, we're able to have it right here. Our students can walk in, meet with that agency, start that referral process, start, that housing process immediately. And when we speak about things like that, we're going to be, or we have been working with Harriet Buhai Law Center. So again, we're just waiting on some things to be finalized in the background. We will be having them back on campus as well to provide those family law services, things to students who are having those legal issues. And again, anything that's going to make it easier for them to focus on their education. We want to, again, decrease any barriers that they're having. I think that's the number one thing as a basic needs center that we're striving to do.
Absolutely. And I think you guys are doing an amazing job. And I know it takes a whole team to do that. And we'll talk about that team in a little bit. But thinking about the future plans for the Basic Needs Center, how do you see it evolving over time? And even with that, what's a wish list? What do we want to see in the future to offer to our students and our community in regards to basic needs?
Don't I have a wish list?
Well, let's talk about the future plans, and then we can talk about the wish list.
Future plans, I think as a coordinator, is to really continue to grow the program, make sure students are aware of the services that we provide. We're fairly new. Basic Needs Center is something that just came into fruition in July. So again, people might have known about the pantry, or people might have known about the Warrior Closet, but now branding everything as a basic needs center. And then again, post-pandemic, students returning to campus, students who have never walked the campus, this is their first semester. We didn't know this existed. We heard about something. We just came by to see, what it's all about. And it's, welcoming them in, letting them know, hey, this is a free service to you. You're a student, take advantage, utilize this. This could be a benefit to you. So again, being able to provide more services, definitely being an advocate and supporter of any type of on-campus housing for our students, creating partnerships right now with some of our local hotels and motels in the area, again, to try and be able to house students. That is something we're working on. Wish lists to be centralized on campus. Mm-hmm. Again, where we're more visible. So again, students would know, they don't have to come look for us, but hey, they're right there, like right in the middle. Just go straight to the middle. They're there. Expanding our pantry hours is a big thing for me. I want to make sure that we are accommodating our evening students, our returning students, just everything. Like,
it sounds like a good list of some wish list items, but I don't see anything that's not doable. So I think hopefully
it's all doable. We just need a little time. And as you talked about, that team I have, they're a great support. I love our basic needs team. We have seen it grow with our federal work study students coming on board. They are a great asset to our program. We would not be able to really run the pantry in 2 locations, 2 days a week without our federal work study students. So again, having those employment opportunities for students is also a great one. And for me personally, I look at, again, we are mentors to those students. We are, again, for a lot of them, this is their first job, teaching them about time management, teaching them about, the importance of budgeting, because a lot of our students don't have that conversation. And for me, that's a big one, that financial literacy piece. And some people would say, but that's not your role as, a coordinator with your federal work study students. But again, I think anyone who works on a campus college or is working with students in any setting, whether it's school or not, I think we are all mentors, and we need to really make that extra effort to make sure there's certain things that our students know, some of those life skills and challenges that they might not have gotten anywhere else, because again, with their education, those are the things that are going to make them successful.
Absolutely. And I think it's great that you have that. It's almost like a separate service in itself. You offer the services for students in the community, but then there's that opportunity for current students who are looking for a job on campus to get that experience through the Basic Needs Center. And like you said, I think providing that mentorship, maybe, you know, one of those things that students are also learning along the way is how to navigate, right, a college campus like El Camino College, and then maybe take those skills.
And not just college, but even life in general. Just my own personal experiences, so many of our young people just don't have that positive support person in their life. And a lot of our students are first generation. So again, they're navigating college on their own, you know. So again, to be able to share your life experiences with your student in hopes that they take just a kernel of something you say and it, you know, it's implanted and they can take that with them as they move forward in life. That's just that great feeling, you know, to just know like, okay, you know what, I did go above and beyond what I needed to do. Like I tried to make sure this student was okay, not just with education, but whatever the life challenges are they're dealing with. You know, hopefully something I said was implanted and it's going to stick with them as they move forward through life.
Thank you. And so hopefully through this experience, not only will students and future students become aware of basic needs available at El Camino College, but also people who work with potential future college students and just in the community in general. You know, I think they think, oh, I can go to El Camino College to get my degree, my certificate, or transfer, but not realizing, hey, we can also support you with your basic needs. So with that in mind, for people thinking about applying to El Camino College, and thinking about your role, what sort of advice would you have for people who are thinking about applying to El Camino College?
Apply. We're going to get you through, whether it takes you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you know, whatever is going on in your life outside of education, whatever those barriers you are that are preventing you from kind of moving forward. Like, we are here to support you in every which way, not just in education, but whether it be food insecurities, housing insecurities, whether it be a transportation issue, not our realm, but, you know, we might want to get there and partner at one point, childcare. You know, if childcare is an issue, getting you those referrals to places within the community. Yes, we focus on the housing and we focus on the food insecurities, but again, any type of life issues that our students are facing, we want to kind of be that place that they come to, whether it's for a referral, whether it's, you know, I just have a question, I don't know how to navigate this system. You know, I'm quick to always say, you know what, if I don't know, let's go find out together. So knowing that you're going to have that support, we're going to do those warm handoffs across campus when we need to make sure you're connected to those campus support programs. And then just knowing we're going to take that warm handoff and we're going to reach out to those community partners as well and make sure that, you know, we're putting you in touch with those appropriate services and people and agencies that can, again, help support you through your education.
Thank you. So if you're thinking about applying, the advice is apply.
Apply. We will help you. Everything else will fall into place with us. We will help you, again, navigate every system that there is, you know, and if we don't know, we will walk with you and we will learn as well and we will find out.
Thank you, Sharonda. You're doing some amazing work.
Thank you.
I know it's a team effort, so please thank your team for the wonderful work that they do and that they've been doing before the pandemic, through the pandemic, and now as we're learning to navigate the current times. So thank you again for joining us.
And thank you for having us and giving us this opportunity to really talk about basic needs here at El Camino College.
Absolutely. Thank you again.